Hi, it's Heather with another installment of RRatedReviews. I actually have some really cool tools that I'm going to review today. I am back at like the nicest guy in the world's house. The one that's he's either the nicest guy that I've ever met or the serial killer who's got bodies buried in the woods over there. He's away again. So I'm like, oh, it's slowing down. No, it's not. Because I don't know how to say no. I took a job because the guy that was working with me is like, oh, yeah, I've painted for like 20 years. I'm like, well, I have this big house painting proposal I'm supposed to do. I don't like ladders. I'm afraid of heights. So, yeah, I got it. He disappeared. So I had to rent a scissor lift because I'm not going up there. This is like a 3,200 square foot house. And he's away. I'm like, yeah, it'll be done when you get back. Sure. So I have like almost all of my paint tools with me. So I want to show you a couple of really cool tools that are cheap, easy to use, that you didn't think, a couple of them are like things that you didn't think you'd need until you have them. And so I got like a whole box of them over here. So I got to scrape and paint. These things I can't leave, but I have like tons of these. This is what I'm painting. I have a paint sprayer from Harbor Freight and a bunch of Wooster brushes. It's called the Shortcut. Shortcut fits right here. It's the perfect angle. I love the bristles. I love Wooster brushes, and they're not any more expensive than the Home Depot Better brand. So you can cut in. I'm ambidextrous, so I can cut with either hand. These things these fantastic brushes. The fact that it doesn't have the weight of that stick flapping back and forth, it's so much easier to use. If you're going to cut in or ever have a future paint project, get the Wooster Shortcut and get the hook and hold, because it's got this awesome feature on it where you flip this out. See that? It sticks out. You can stick it on your paint can so that it rests in the paint and doesn't draw out the bristles, but it also doesn't fall in the can and get your freaking paintbrush just destroyed. They work on the cutting cups too. So you just take your hook and hold out, and pop it over the side, and it just sits with it dipped in the paint so it won't dry out. They're awesome. And these are like $5, 5 or 6. These are really good brushes. I love these brushes. And I used to clean my brushes with a fork. I would comb them out with a fork until I decided that for $5. So for $5, this is well worth it. You get a bunch of paint that gets jammed up in this section here. It's just too thick. These are so sharp. Be careful, because I've poked myself a bunch of times. You can sort of like force them through with and clean your brushes. It's like $5. And I decided that it was better than using a fork. So this is my 1-gallon paint mixer. They give you sticks, but I'm using burgundy. Any form of red, it's got to be mixed throughout and again before you start. This goes right in a regular drill. I keep these things on the ends. I love these because then I can hang these all in my workshop. This one is for a 1-gallon. It does a great job at remixing the paint and consistently keeping it mixed throughout the painting process. But then I have a bigger one with its hook. That's this one. This one goes in a 5-gallon container. I'm using paint paper because I started with the tarps. I hate those tarps. It's impossible to work with. So I'm using paper because I'm going to spray. I figure a little bit more prep time might save me a ton of painting time, because now I'm painting this whole fucking thing by myself. Really? Anyway, these are my paints. Side note, this is not the client that I was worried that I didn't hear from about the painting, because he is like one of the department managers at Lowe's, and it was like, any materials you need, I'll just get them for you. I'm like, sure, can you get me bare paint? I didn't hear from them. This is not them. This is not him. I did hear from them. I went to follow up because I'm like, hey, you want me to release those days I'm holding for you? Because I have a wait list. I didn't hear from you. And she's like, I need the proposal. I'm like, I sent it like 12 days ago. She never got it. My email just wouldn't go through. So she got the proposal. They took it. I'm painting their house next. Well, next painting job. He's letting me use their paint. I told him he's got vinyl siding. He's concerned. I won't use Valspar. Even one of the department heads at Lowe's knows that Valspar paint is shit, and he's not going to argue with me about using Behr. This is a urethane alkylate enamel from Behr. I've used this at my house many times. I've used this at other people's houses. This shit is fantastic. It performs and has the durability of an traditional oil-based paint, but it cleans up and acts like it's a water-based and cleans up like a water-based paint. It is self-leveling, will fill in cracks. You can use it on metal, wood, stucco, vinyl, just about anything. It is awesome. So because I have to take the shutters down and the trim, his house is board and batten wood, so I'm using a different paint for the house. But the garage doors are vinyl, and so is the trim, and all around the windows and the shutters is vinyl. So I'm using this, and it's tintable. So I got this in the burgundy that he wants. So this is going to be his trim paint, which I'm going to put on with the sprayer, hopefully. My sprayer is from Harbor Freight, and it was cheap enough. You know how I feel about Harbor Freight. It was cheap enough. If it doesn't work, I've used it once. If it doesn't work this time like the first one didn't, I'll just go get another one from somewhere else. This is the Avanti paint sprayer. It holds 4 quarts. It uses a lot of material. So if it starts wasting material, I'm just going to roll it. I'll use the roller. Here's the thing. I used it for staying on a deck. It has an adjustable trigger to control how much you use. This is the adjuster. Okay, so it uses the same amount of material no matter what you do. But if you want less, you just unscrew this so it sticks out more and you can't pull the trigger as much. So I've noticed that when I use it, this or this doesn't matter. It shoots the same amount of material out. So if I waste paint, I'm going to switch. I'm going to fill this up. It's electric. Wiggy, wiggy. I got to get the garage door. I couldn't do this yesterday because I left the guy gave me the garage door opener before he left. I left it in the Jeep. So I couldn't even get in the garage yesterday. And this runs on electric. And my extension cords weren't long enough to go from the back of the house to the front. So I got like setup done yesterday and a waste of a lot of fucking time. So today I'm trying to make up for time. I told him I would keep the scissor lift for 1 week and do everything at the top of the house, the trim, the house, and everything. That way I can get the scissor lift rental taken back and then work on the bottom where I don't need it. And that's it. Now, and I will demo them. Just doing a quick synopsis over here. Hi, Mr. Dunlap. It's the guy across the street whose masonry I did. He's so sweet. He came over yesterday to apologize to me because he told me he was coming to my client appreciation barbecue. 98 years old. And he's on his way to go golf. Golfs every day. Was coming to the client appreciation barbecue. He's like, oh, I'd love to come to your place. Handy? I'll be there. I know how to read a map. I'm like, oh my gosh, maps. He drove around for 40 minutes and got like within 2 miles of my house and missed the party because he didn't want to call me. He thought I was busy hosting and didn't want to disturb me. So he drove all the way back home and missed the party. He came over to apologize for missing the barbecue. I'm like, always call me. Next year, I'm just going to give him directions. 98 years old, playing golf and driving around with a map. I love that guy. So I have taped all around the garage doors so that when I use the sprayer, I don't get paint all over the house. And I'm going to show you the mixer because the mixer is awesome. By the way, can someone help me understand what the fuck happened to my glasses? They're folded. I don't know if they got hot. How does that happen? And this is the other tool. This looks like nothing. I've had this for years. It's like $5. It's plastic. The handle, you can use it for edging when you're painting. My favorite thing to do is to jam carpet down to the floor. Put this between your molding or the wall and the carpet. Pull it back a little, and you can paint all along the carpet, and then you don't get any paint on the carpet. So I like it for that. I'm going to get my paint can right here. Where's mine? There it is. So it's burgundy. I mixed it yesterday. I'm going to mix it again. going to start with it on low. I hold it at an angle. It makes a nice swirl. So I started scraping, and it's a good thing I'm doing the painting because it's all coming off like it needs to be done. And there's like some dry rot that's starting at the bottom. Here's what gets me though. When I do a job, I always do a good job. I don't cut corners. Cutting corners never saves me time. I don't think it saves anybody time. It usually costs you more time. Look at the trim paint. Let me see if I can turn this around again. Why is the exterior gray and the front white? How do people get away with that? If I had painted it like that, someone would have been like, it's painted wrong, and I'd have to redo the whole fucking thing. How do people get away with this? Okay, so me driving this thing down the driveway, that was comical. I wish I could have videoed that. I've never driven one of these things before. I just need to know how the hell I'm getting up there. And even though I brought a ladder, I'm not using it. Let me get my paint supplies. And what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? I gotta do this by myself. I don't know if I have elephantitis or if I had a brain tumor for fucking breakfast. I'm a little nervous. I found my tripod. I didn't think I had it with me. It was in my truck box. Very exciting. And the review is changing because the Avanti sprayer, it's decent. It's pretty good. It's been doing a good job. It's getting a little warm as I'm using it. It is not made to paint a 3,200 square foot house. And since the job has now changed, the first color turned out purple. Now, when the client and I looked at the swatches and samples outside, it was raining and cloudy that day. And so the blue, when the sun was shining, looked fucking purple. And I was not going to have him come home from his business trip to a grimace house. So I texted him and I'm like, when you get a minute, give me a call. So I had to start all over again on the job that I'm already doing by myself in not enough time. So what I did was I bought another sprayer. I went with a Wagner. So I'm going to show them to you because it was a world of difference. But I'm also aware that I'm comparing apples to oranges. We're looking at like an $80 Avanti, sprayer from Harbor Freight, which works pretty well. And when I used it for stain, it sprayed. I went through 2 gallons of stain on a 100 square foot deck. Now, granted, the deck was thirsty, just like the bitch who owned the deck. But the paint, it doesn't do that. So it might be that the stain is thin and it was just using way too much, and there really isn't an adjustment for it. But I noticed that when I was using it with paint, I did not use a lot of paint. And it does cover well, but it's not going to handle this. For $10 more, there's one that has a separate compressor with a really long hose on it. So I bought that one. It was $179, I think. I'm painting the house so quickly. It's quiet. The Avanti is very, very loud, but it's a little rinky-dink. And it's, if you're a homeowner and you have a small project, it's not bad. This Wagner one is no joke. And it's not even supposed to be made for big houses. It's like medium interior, medium exterior. I'm like, well, we're doing it. So I got the 4,500. The box is right here. Hold on. And there is one aspect of it I'm probably going to make fun of, but I'll get to that. This is what I bought. It's the 4,300. Okay. It's the Flexio 4,300 all project sprayer. 12 times faster. Comes with the fine finish. It's good for a small room, small exterior, medium exterior, and it comes with a travel bag. Here's the thing. The travel bag is so fucking small, you can't fit the parts and pieces in it. So I'm going to do that in a little while. The Wagner has so many adjustments on it that you can, how much paint, how much air pressure, how wide the spray is. So, I mean, I'm covering such a large area that I had it going everywhere. Okay, so one of the features that I loved, it's the little things, devil's in the details. This one came with a carry bag. And I'm like, I mean, that alone was not the reason for buying it. I bought it because one of the issues that I had with the Avanti was that when the compressor is right next to the paint, it was blowing the paper all over the place. So the paper was sticking to the paint. Like it blows so much air that it's loud, and this being separate was like fantastic, because this is where the air comes from. And it's got a really long hose. This is your min and max. This is the air compression. Minimum all the way to maximum. It's your pressure control. It does specify in the instructions that if you want to do a large area with a smooth finish, use a lot of paint on high pressure. So you get two choices. You get narrow and wide for your radius. They even tell you that this, and the Avanti has this bent also. Bends it in the direction of where you're going to be grabbing the most paint from. So if you're spraying up and your paint's going to run back, you want this angled down. If you're going to be painting this way, then you want to turn it the other way and get the paint out of the bottom. So I have this on. I didn't do max. I did like 3/4 of the way to max. Here's max. I did around here. Then this hose has to be, it's going to be 15 feet. And then here's your dial for the amount of paint that's coming out. From 1 all the way up to 12. Now I will tell you, I got paint, like a lot of paint that covered a great amount of area. It's 7. I'm like, let me start there and not just go nuts. And it worked really well. So I have it on a wide, on a 7, and 3/4 of the max. I did not use the finish sprayer yet. This way. This is for fine finishes. And then you swap it out right on the gun. I'm not 100% sure how to use that yet, because I have not done it. So I'm not even going to touch that right now. Comes with a little cleaning brush. Oh, the Avanti one, I'll tell you, you can hear it. If you listen, it starts to make a little bit of a noise if the paint is getting too caked up at the front of the nozzle. And you just peel off the little piece of excess paint that's drying on the end of the nozzle, and then it starts spraying better again, because you get less paint. This has been such a rough week that I actually hired TJ to come and help me. I just need help. It's been a rough week, and starting over was the last thing I wanted to do. Actually, starting over was the second to last thing I wanted to do. The last thing I want to do is have a client come home to a purple house that I know he's going to hate. And then what am I going to say to him? Hey, you picked the color. And I know the guy's going to be unhappy. So I called him, and now I'm starting over. So I have TJ coming to help me remove the shutters, because I don't want to fall. I hit my head on the damn scissor lift because somebody taped the safety bar up, and I didn't know that the safety bar was taped up. And I guess at one point I'm climbing off the roof. Climbing off. Not the time that I want to have the safety bar tape break, and the bar comes crashing down and whacks me on the fucking head as I'm getting off the roof. I'm pretty pissed at the rental company right now. So I started to say something about the bag earlier. So I wanted this particular the paint sprayer anyway. Having a travel bag was an added bonus, because I travel with the Avanti one in the fucking box. I'm like, I have tool bags. I have a bunch of them. But I don't have enough tool bags to put a paint shit together. And so to dedicate. I have a dedicated travel bag. Or at least I thought I did. I will say, you're going to give me a bag that's this big. It's not a bad size. It's got a nice wide mouth on it. It's not designed to hold the compressor. I can't get everything in it. And then when I got everything in it, like barely, I couldn't close it. And then you can't grab the handles to carry it. And the box literally says that it comes with a carry bag for nozzle assemblies and hose. What's the fucking point? If you can't put the entire thing in the bag, then the bag is moot. That is beyond ridiculously stupid. Now, I can lose the compressor. Where did I put that? That's on a shelf up here. Let me put the bag next to it. You gave me a bag this big. You couldn't give me a bag that big. What the fuck? Why give me a bag at all? This is like giving a man a penguin. Come on. Please. And if you don't know what a penguin is, that's when you can give a blowjob until he's just almost ready, and then you stop, and he's going to chase you with his pants down. It's like, come on. Really? Thanks, Wagner. Genius. Like this is like pissing my Cheerios. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That is so stupid. It is entirely useless now if you can't put all the parts and components in it. Who thinks this shit up? Wagner is going to have to be like Ryobi now. Hey, Wagner, why don't you give me a call before you do something dumb like this? Because my common sense, which is obviously a flower that doesn't grow in everyone's garden, is flourishing. And whoever designed that is not. So now I've got my paint in the cup. And you just screw it on. Come on. There we go. Okay, that's on. My hoses are attached. I just have to plug it in. So the on button is on the compressor right here. I don't know how loud it's going to be, but it's nice because it can be 15 feet away. It's not that loud. This is going to spray so fast. It works great. Just you kind of ruined it with the shitty bag. Since I have to change paints, I have to clean the paint sprayer. So the Wagner one, in order for you to clean it, it's pretty straightforward. I like the fact that this piece, once I rinse it off, this is all one piece. This just comes out. So I rinse that. That's done. Then you unscrew this. It loosens up. This comes off. You just rinse inside here. Oops. And I don't know if you, I put water right through here. They give you a brush to clean the tip. Pop it back on. And then you can actually change the direction of your spray this way. Oh, I guess they go back here. Yeah, they snap on here. That. And that. That comes up, and then you pop it back on. Like that. Okay. I have totally faced my fears. And if any of you ever watched The Bear, the 3rd season, where is it Sugar? I forget what her name is, has the baby. And the shh, shh, shh. Yeah, that was me on the fucking left. But look. The bottom I can reach. Ran out of paint. TJ's bringing me more paint. But I'm really excited because I get to show you how to cut it. How I cut in with the Wooster brush. I love the Wooster brushes. I actually like cutting in. I only have a little bit of paint left that's in here. These are like, I think that's $6.58 for one of these brushes. They give you incredible control. Beauteous. Oh, I want to fill in. I just did the blue, and those are the sections that the red has to go in. I have a little spot right here. Okay, this is turning into the forever fucking paint video. But I found something with the Wagner paint sprayer that is so awesome. I'm really getting a feel for it because I've been using it nonstop for the last few days. The whole house is just about done, almost done. But I have to go up and do the shutters. Now the shutters I'm going to do in red and the trim I'm going to do in red. Here's the thing. I just filled the blue cup, filled the cup with blue paint, but I don't really need that right now. I need the red and I don't want to wash it all out. But with this Wagner 2 container, check out how this goes. The way that you put the gun together, you just press this button, turn the handle. I'm doing this with one hand. And this comes off. This is actually the handle. So this paint sprayer is going to stay like this with blue paint in it. I need the red right now, so I don't have to clean that out, because all I have to do is take the gravity cup spray, gravity spray cup, put this handle on. It goes on the same way. That's it. It's on. And when you want to remove it, just press the little tab and flip the handle back up. So now the gravity cup has a stand. They tell you that whenever you're not using it or spraying, put the stand down so it can stand. Well, it's on the grass, it's not going to work. But it stands up. When you're using it, you flip this back up. But I just wanted to show you guys that I was so excited that I was able to, you know, I have to do the left side there. I got to do the very right side there. But I went up there with everything I needed. I didn't have to change out and wash out the sprayer. That said, I'm not adding anything else to this fucking video.